Hey YouTube, it's now Olympus Reptiles, and today we're still moving some of our snakes. But today, these are the ones that I think are the most exciting to move and that excite me, like I get the happiest about. And that's when we get out of our baby tubs and we move to our adult tubs. And some of these, I'll be honest, they probably need to move for a little while. It's just a matter of we had to get some space opened up, and we got a new facility coming. And so all this is eventually moving to a new facility. So how much do we move right now before the big move to our brand new to us reptile facility? And it's going to be a reptile facility like none other. And what I mean is most people who have a reptile facility have like a warehouse. Well, you know, I am not going to be like most people. What we are going to have is we're going to have a house for our reptiles overlooking the lake with a swimming pool. So that's how we're going to roll. It'll actually be really cool. So let's go ahead and start moving some of these snakes over that are ready. And this is one that needs moved to a new tub. I think it's ready to go. This is really cool. This is at least a yellow belly pastel. Possibly has fire floating around in there. 100% het axanthic. So we'll go ahead and drop her. I did say her. Right here. These tubs I already got ready. Everything's been done to these tubs but the water dish. So we'll go ahead and do that really quick right now. I'll tell you what, question girl, if you have a question about a specific snake as we move it, that would be a great time to ask. Anything you want to know about this snake?
Did you produce this one?
I did. This is a 2017 hatchling. So she's done pretty good. I mean, could she be a little bigger? Probably, but she could also be a lot smaller. Now this is going to be exciting. Let me go ahead and do the waters first. These next two snakes I'm going to move, they are also both my own production and both from 2017. And the cool thing is, these, I don't know what they are. Like, I should know what they are, but I don't. They were from a pairing that does not contain any pastel. None whatsoever, for sure. We know it doesn't. It was a Blitz to a Champagne pairing. So if you remember, we had the first Blitz Champagnes. These came out of that pairing. I do believe, let me tell you if I'm being correct, yes. And here's how I know that. See the 1704? That tells me it was the fourth clutch of 2017 Blitz. That was a Blitz to a Champagne, and we made the first Blitz Champagne. What do we call that? The shits that we sold. Over here, I have 170402, and I also have another one around here somewhere that is just as confusing. I'll find the number here in a minute, but we'll start with this one. And you'll get to see how these snakes both look, and they are not pastel. Or if they are pastel, it's a really weird random occurrence of it. So what this is we don't really know. It looks very much like a pastel, although it's kind of wonky pattern, so not exactly, but the color-wise it does. But it came from a Blitz and a Champagne. Champagne you'll know with pastels in it, and the Blitz also doesn't have pastel, so we don't know why this snake looks the way it does, but it's certainly exciting. And I had two of them that came from the same clutch that looked the same way. And so what we did is, of course, we kept both of them, and the reason we did that was they're both female. We want to kind of see what we got. So one of these, what I'll do is I'll put back to the father just to see what happens. And the other one, I'm going to put to something that has pastel in it. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to know if this is just a random occurrence of pastel. And one way to find that out will be to put pastel to it and see if I throw any super pastels. If I throw some as an obvious super pastel, then okay, mystery solved. Somehow we just had a line of pastel pop up. Talks to people, and that actually can happen. So that very well may be what's going on, but we really won't know until we get to do that. This is another snake I'm really excited to get a chance to move. Oh, she's doing so well. She's actually in shed right now. And this is our queen bee. So, and you can see she's pink belly. We're going to go ahead and move her in shed. I'll just bump her humidity in her tub higher to make sure she has a good shed. And she should. I'll show you a good way we do that. We'll simply take, as we do her water, and the tubs have been moistened, but with her being in shed, there's probably not enough of a start on the humidity to make me feel really good about it. So we'll just have some spillage, and that should help jumpstart that humidity, which will also in turn make sure she has a really nice shed. So, and again, we'll move the label. And this is something that, you know, periodically, a couple times a year, you have to kind of do. Just move your snakes up in size as they go from one tub to the next. And then after I pull these labels off, we'll of course go and we'll clean all these tubs because they're empty, and they'll get a full clean. All these tubs we're using also got a full clean. So that's kind of where we are. Let me move this one too. This was the female banana that we hatched here from a male maker. So, you know, and that's pretty rare, but it does happen. Male makers will make a female occasionally. They just make a lot more males. And people are like, oh, you probably missed sex. It's got to be a female or it's got to be a male. That is a girl every time. So this is a female banana from our male maker. Of course, we kept her because she's our only female. We'll go ahead and put her in there. Let her move up in size. And you can kind of just eyeball look at it. Like, I don't get a weight on them and go, oh, well, they're this many grams. I can move them up. It literally is, you know, this isn't rocket science. It's snake breeding, okay? And so what I mean by that is you don't have to turn it into rocket science. It's literally done by looking at the animal and seeing, based on experience, if I think it's ready for something new or not. And if I'm wrong, we'll shrink it back if we need to. All right, guys, move that label over. 171203. I think that's all the room I've got set up. It does. I have a few more to move, but I'm out of room to set up. So we're going to go ahead and hop up off of here. Question, got any questions about those animals?
No questions on those animals.
Okay, any questions in general on moving up size?
No.
Okay, let me run down one more thing quickly for you guys on size. I get a lot of questions, what size tubs should I use? So these are basically like a 6-quart, and these are for hatchlings. These are a little bit bigger. Oh, we got some poop in there. Ew, gross. Ooh, that's gross. And they are for, basically, hatchlings are a little bit bigger. So what I typically do is clean myself up now, right? What I typically do with these, if it's something I'm going to keep, it typically goes in these because I can let it be in here a lot longer. I don't have to move it up as quick because it is bigger. Once they leave this size, we typically are going to go to this size. If you got a male and you want to go right here, you can, but typically this is where we're going to be. And what do I mean by that? This is, you know, not nearly as big as, yeah, another little turd. Get that out of there. As the other ones over there. So we'll go to this size next. After we go to that size, and I clean myself up yet again, we're then going to go over here. Now this is where my adult males typically stop, with some exceptions. Like this guy here, oh, he's an adult male, but he's actually going to get a new tub today. And I forgot to move him earlier because I was thinking about my females. Why? Most males don't get this big, but here's the thing. Even though these tubs are the appropriate size for adult males, when you happen to have one that's the size of Andre the Giant in the snake world, he's big. He needs a bigger area. So what we'll simply do is we're going to go ahead, and even though he's a male, we're going to give him that bigger space because he is too cramped in there. Come on, buddy. Now, if you guys remember, this is my one-eyed trouser snake. That's because of an incubation thing. He was only born with one eye. Since we know the cause of it, we're perfectly fine using him. We were not the ones who made him, but we do know who did. And he's, you know, named Trouser, so it's my big one-eyed trouser snake. Anybody who knows me is probably not surprised by that piece of humor.
And he's the size of Andre the Giant?
For the snake world, he's big. That is a huge male. You know, like, he's fun because I had a buddy like, oh, look how big this male is. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. And I went home and sent him a picture of that on the scale. He's like, holy shit. He's like a 3,500 gram male. He's a big, big boy. So we're going to go ahead and give him a female tub too. But typically, you know, your adult males will fit in this size tub here. It's not very wide, but it's just as long as these big female tubs. And then this is what you use for an adult female. And it's just wider. And when I take my males to breed, I take them to my females. That gives them a little bit more space for breeding purposes. Can it be done in one of those tubs? It probably can. If you have a smaller female, is only around 1,500 grams. She could be in one of those tubs and be just fine. But I prefer it to be in here for breeding. Not that the other one doesn't work. It's just I know I've got more room for both snakes. My females always end up in the big tubs, and my males always come to see them. The only exception being my trouser snake. All right, any questions?
Nope.
All right, guys, we're going to get off here. We'll see you all next week.